Today, we got the Resident Evil Showcase. The latter half of this showcase was dedicated to Resident Evil 4 Remake and contained several minutes of gameplay footage, including the game-defining frenetic first fight against a horde of Ganados in the Pueblo Town Square. In just that short amount of time, we learned some key additions and differences implemented in the remake when compared to the 2005 classic. Here are the 6 biggest things we noticed during the showcase for RE4 Remake. One of the key additions added to the original RE4, along with its revolutionary camera position, was just how mobile Leon was. With the ability to dodge certain types of attacks with various overly showy acrobatics, doing double front flips out of windows and landing in a cool roll, and suplexing monks regardless of the fact that they are both standing on very different levels of stone stairs. From what we've seen in the gameplay footage for RE4 Remake, Leon still has quite a selection of moves, seen jumping through a closed window, flipping Ganados over his shoulder into other Ganados, jumping off of roofs, roundhouse kicking a stunned enemy, and quickly vaulting waist-high fences. These maneuvers appear to be much more realistic, however, which for my money had to happen given the photorealistic graphics and much more natural-looking moment-to-moment movement. Chief among the actual mechanical changes we saw is the brand new parry mechanic. We see several times where Leon has an action icon in the shape of a knife and the L1 button pop up when certain attacks are coming our hero's way, including even chainsaw attacks where Leon uses his knife to fend off what would have been a one-hit kill from Dr. Salvador. The icon even popped up when Leon was grappled by an enemy. However, the player controlling Leon appeared to opt for mashing the escape button rather than using the knife to escape. Why, you wonder? Well, that brings us to the next thing we noticed. Yes, just like in RE2 Remake, the knife will now have durability clearly illustrated by a white bar just above your primary weapon information. Using the knife to escape every grappling Ganado is great, right up until you get caught in a corner with Dr. Salvador without a functional get-out-of-beheading free card. Speaking of which, parrying Dr. S's chainsaw appears to immediately destroy the knife's durability. Whether that will simply make the knife deeply ineffective or completely unusable has yet to be seen, but that knife icon after fending off a chainsaw sure looks like scrap metal to me. A brief look at the merchant's shop shows that the knife's durability can be upgraded, but whether it can be repaired or you have to buy a whole new one isn't clear just yet. Leon has never been much of a sneak in any of the games he's starred in, but it appears part of his Secret Service training covered how to crouch. In the first bit of the trailer, we see Leon turn off his flashlight and hit the deck to avoid pulling the attention of the very creepy bent-necked man who assaulted him earlier. We also see him approach the Pueblo stealthily before spotting the missing officer he arrived with and evidently sprinting in to go ham on the free will impaired townspeople. Stealth horror isn't generally my cup of tea, but I don't think I or anyone else similarly opinioned has anything to worry about. I highly doubt the stealth will come into play aside from in specific set pieces or perhaps even getting into an advantageous position before engaging with a superior force. Do you remember how the merchant in OG RE4 couldn't sell you ammo, but every time you upgraded a weapon's capacity, he would throw in a fully loaded magazine on the house? Well, no more will you need to cheese the merchant for an ammo top-up. In RE4 Remake, you'll be able to craft ammunition for all your boomsticks, an addition which will certainly be appreciated seeing as you no longer have an infinitely durable knife with which to limp along to your next box of handgun ammo. Ask anyone what the worst part of the original RE4 is, and they will say anything to do with Ashley. She's trash, and she even knows it, happily hopping into dumpsters when all Leon said was to hide. She gets kidnapped nonstop, whines nonstop, and is voiced by Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob nonstop. Well, it wouldn't be Resi 4 Remake without her. So we see a few key moments in the latest showcase which gives me the idea Capcom did the right thing and reworked her character. The first thing we notice is her voice sounds like a real human being, not a whiny undersea chipmunk in a spacesuit. Also, we see her not only get her hands on a gun at one point, but do more than whiff a 2x4 at Leon while embarrassingly screaming, "No, don't come." Which, I mean, come on, Ashley. Instead, she follows through with an attempt to brain him with a candelabra. Something tells me this Ashley is going to be an actual boon to this retelling as opposed to being a trigger for dangerously deep eye rolls whenever she comes back onto the scene. And there you have it, 6 things that I noticed while watching the Resident Evil Showcase yesterday. It seems like it's going really well. Capcom is keeping it very faithful. And it's also, they've kind of justified Leon a little better than, walking into a guy's house and he swings a hatchet at him, and so Leon goes on to just totally kill him and everyone in town. The initial house in the showcase looks like there's a lot of gore and a lot of weird stuff going on, and a very unwell, crooked-necked fellow attacking you right off the bat. So the justification seems to be a little better than Leon invaded someone's home and then killed everyone. So anyway, I've been Smokey Lyle with Horror and Cats. Let me know what you saw in the trailer that you're excited about or that you noticed was different. I didn't cover everything that I noticed here, just the things that stood out to me the most. I personally, I've been a little grumpy about the RE4 remake because I think they should have done Code Veronica first. I strongly believe that, and I still believe that. But seeing a little more of the game, I'm getting excited for it. I'm also excited about the Winter's expansion coming out. But most of what we saw there was stuff we've already seen, so I didn't feel the need to make a list on what's going to be in there. But hey, leave a comment. What are you most excited about for RE4 Remake? What are you most excited for in the Winter's expansion? What, if anything, are you excited for in RE-verse? Well, on that note, I mentioned RE-verse. I might as well start talking about Umbrella Corps now. I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.